behavior that we are witnessing is shameful, unpatriotic, and above all, it is unlawful. Anyone who has engaged in these activities, continues to engage in these activities, will be held accountable. There will be law and order, and this behavior will not be tolerated.
Traveling with protesters. Oh, there we go. And they just breached the Capitol again.
The chaos at the U.S. Capitol building is reprehensible. The different treatment between Black Lives Matter and this riotous mob is indefensible. Tear gas, rubber bullets on peaceful protesters, was it indispensable? We all know that there's a race to some police that are invincible. I have to say, if they were black, the carnage would be unfathomable. Criticizing those protesting in 2020 like they were trying to make it fashionable. If you don't think we're living in two Americas, you're being irrational. These folks aren't patriots. They're the KKK, the Proud Boys, white nationals. You have some who will say, why are you always trying to make things racial? We don't. It's just the fact that it's always thrown in our face like a facial. I won't make this long because to the black and brown people, democracy has always been laughable. It's just hit home for some because it happened in your U.S. Capitol.
The reason they could easily and casually, with their cameras on, film themselves throwing things through the walls of our Capitol, our property, going inside the Capitol, sitting in Speaker Pelosi's office, casually take pictures of themselves, have that played on Fox News, they know that they are not in jeopardy. Because the cops are taking selfies with them, walking them down the steps to make sure they're not hurt, taking care with their bodies, not like they treated Freddie Gray's body. White Americans aren't afraid of the cops. White Americans are never afraid of the cops, even when they're committing insurrection, even when they're engaged in attempting to occupy our Capitol, to steal the votes of people who look like me. Because in their minds, they own this country, they own that Capitol, they own the cops work for them, and people like me have no damn right to try to elect a president. Because we don't get to pick the president. They get to pick the president. They own the president. They own the White House. They own this country. And so when you think you own it, you own the place, you ain't afraid of the police because the police are you, and the police reflect back to them.